Jurassic World, the game, is known for having some of the most god-awful models on the planet. But even then, we still have at least some good models, or models that at least don't look like amalgamations. Anyways, enjoy. Starting off, the Demetradon. Now, while the spine should protrude out of the skin folding over here, the Demetradon skull is generally okay, I suppose. They actually paid a bit of attention to detail when it comes to the teeth, as you can see here. This is the correct way of assembling this. It's called the Demetradon after all. Overall, despite the skull being a bit more round than it should be, the Demetradon is okay. Next one is the Sarosucus. Its body should be a little bit more positioned upper, like, how do I call it, how to describe it again? Its body position should be a little bit above. This is just way too flat, and as well as that, the skull doesn't seem like it's like thin enough, narrow enough. It should look much more like a gharial. So here is the real Sarosucus, and to be fair to Jurassic World the game, this actually resembles a Sarosucus, which is good, a good thing when it comes to Jurassic World the game. And so props to Ludia for that. Calling this good is kind of a stretch, but when you compare that to something like, hold on, the Down syndrome T-Rex, this is leagues ahead. Now, when it comes to this Brachiosaurus over here, you'd notice that this model is... I don't really know how to describe this, to be honest. Compared to Jurassic Park, it's low quality, but at least it doesn't have as many obvious inaccuracies, especially compared to the Spinosaurus. Here's the real Brachiosaurus feet. Those claws are actually pointed towards, well, the other claw, if that's how you correctly describe it. And of course, it's supposed to be a bit more bulky. Ironically enough, its model is kind of a little bit less accurate than Jurassic World Alive, but I can't really deduce why. This is just a Jurassic Park Velociraptor with a roundy tail. But even then, it's generally accurate to an actual Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. It's definitely not accurate to the real thing, of course, but I mean, Velociraptor was actually featured back then, before Jurassic World was even released, and so I guess this is actually the Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. It's to be expected. Here's an actual Velociraptor, by the way, with much more feather covering, as well as that that more elongated skull. It's basically just a giant turkey. You know, despite having a T-Rex-esque head, as well as whatchamacallit, there's no osteoderms around the Carnotaurus. The fact that they gave Carnotaurus those actual wrists, or at least less developed arms, shorter arms compared to others like the Macleod, the Allosaurus, Giga, etc., which just reuse the T-Rex arms, just shows that Ludia had every power, every right, every power to just modify those arms to make them look less like T-Rex and make them look more like something like this, or just modify the length just a little bit to make it Giga length or Allosaurus length or whatever. They didn't do that, which is just a shame. Here's the real Carnotaurus, by the way. Gigonosaurus Gen 2 is Dominion Gigonosaurus, and so there's really not much to talk about here. I don't think I want to show you guys accurate Gigonosaurus. Just look for yourself, because this is just Dominion Giga, which is self-explanatory, and it doesn't really have to be super accurate. You know, just a Jurassic Park game, Jurassic World game after all. Of course, some are still absolutely garbage and should at least be somewhat, like, somewhat look like, something that came out from Jurassic World. I'm at least glad Ludi made Gigonosaurus Gen 2, because it's such a stark contrast to this abomination of a Down syndrome T-Rex. Though the skull is a little bit pointy here and there's not really much feather covering, this still resembles a Sarosucus. Dominion is even worse accuracy-wise. Its skull is even they're sharper compared to the original, and as well as that, it also doesn't have as much feather covering as the original Sarosucus. So, ironically, this is one of those cases where it's just worse accuracy-wise. Although, to be fair, the Therizinosaurus Gen 2 is based off Dominion. Mosasaurus is just incredibly self-explanatory. It's just Jurassic World gigantic Mosasaurus. And so, should I even show the accurate Mosasaurus to you guys? Yeah, there goes the much smaller one over here is the actual Mosasaurus. Okay, so I have some mixed feelings about Helicoprion. While its jaw is accurate, you know, its teeth, its skull, on the other hand, its nose part, it's just, this should be pointing a bit downwards and should be a bit more blunt. And as well as that, it shouldn't have those random spikes that are just there for the cool factor. And as well as that, it should have another part protruding out, like the bottom part over here, the white area. I don't really know what it is, but whatever. Okay, so Helicoprion looks more like this. The nose part over here shouldn't, skull shouldn't be, it's not necessarily less sharp. It's just a bit shorter in general, so a bit more compact. Finally, what can I say about the Tyrannosaurus Rex? It's just Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park and all that. So, I mean, there's really not much to talk about this T-Rex other than the fact that it's used as a rig for Ludi's didn't even bother to change the arms, etc. I know they're trying to fill in the gaps, but at least make them a bit more accurate, more representative of the actual thing. The Allosaurus should not be a trapezoid T-Rex. The Gigonosaurus should not be Down syndrome T-Rex. The Brachiosaurus should not be a T-Rex with a different skull. The Pteranodon shouldn't just be a T-Rex with spikes on its back and a more narrow skull. It's just not like that. Brachiosaurus as well, same thing as Gigonosaurus. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you all next. Special thanks to channel members for supporting this channel. It helps out a ton.